Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting Summit of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene is going to take place in the Spitted Boar, a large, spacious tavern at the centre of the Changeling Market. It's Boggin run, don't you know, so that means comfort. Check and see if it doesn't. Inside, there will be There will be a much more subdued crowd due to the nature of the plague and the fact that many people are indoors and avoiding the main excursions that they would normally take. There's only a handful of people in the bar proper. It looks rather sad when you think of how raucous and noisy it used to be when this place was still filled with life, unlike now where everyone else seems to contemplate only their inevitable death. Dark. Mm. Yes. I will let Bambi and other Bambi go from there. Sha-na-na-na!
Real quick before I get too started, Adam, check the side chat.
Say it would be the best idea that you brought her across.
Yep.
That would make the most sense.
So yeah, there is this lovely tavern run by Boggins. So not only is it comfortable, it's probably super clean. Oh my god, so sanitary.
Is this within the dreaming out of character?
This is within the dreaming.
It is in the Changeling Market.
So what Bambi is going to do, potentially even buy her onesies, because that is one of those things about anxious or uncomfortable people. Everything's terrible until someone's more uncomfortable than they are. Then everything's fine. You can do the thing for the other person. So she will go to collect Rhea. And probably shoot a text to Willa as well. Because I think they exchanged numbers.
Yes, they did. So she'll text back, all right, I just got out of an interview. I'm on my way.
And yeah, they can wait out front of, or just inside Rhea's restaurant, whichever way she wants to do it. Admittedly, Pepper will prefer to wait indoors just because there's things. The boogeyman's out there, man. But once Willa shows up, we'll collect her, probably show them both how to get the hell across, even though the player literally has no idea how it works. But the character totes does, because we've been doing it narratively.
Would you like me to explain how it works?
Yes,
that would be actually great,
yes,
because
please.
I don't know. I would actually like to know how, just to set it up in my mind.
Okay. Basically what will happen is how people access the dreaming. It's not like stepping sideways, but there are places where you can get in and out of the dreaming. They're basically the entrance and egress to trods. And once you find one of them, they can be as simple as a door that no one ever walks through in an abandoned building, or jumping down through a manhole cover. But one way or the other, they are kind of the instinctive ways that people have to get in and out of the dreaming, and to kind of navigate their way into and out of the kind of. There are different layers of the dreaming, but basically the nearest enter and egress to the fire dreaming, or the area where most of the things we have in the dreaming are built. You can also do it via freehold.
Okay, then yeah, we'll assume they're whatever the closest trot is that that Pepper knows about. Once she's gathered them up, she will go ahead and quick take them to the trot, because as has been proven multiple times, she's not so big on being out by her onesies or without a giant meat shield. So she'll let Rides know she's about to come across, that she's bringing some of her friends along, headed into the market, show them what's going on over there, give them a chance to get their first proper look around. And yeah, we'll take them through the trod and into the dreaming. And once they've had a second to adjust to the chimerical stuff they could see before becoming like the reality and everything being super wonky and changed, we'll start leading them, all smiles, because let's face it, the first time seeing the dreaming has to be magic as fuck.
Hey, look, a dragon.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, look, a dragon. Oh, hey, look. All these changelings. Oh, look at the stalls. Is that fruit? Is that a vegetable? Is that furniture? I'm not even sure, but Yeah, she will lead them through and actually will slow down once they get to the market so that Willa and Rhea both have time to kind of ogle and take it in and seem to take every evidence of pleasure in just watching them kind of discover things and people, but slowly but surely make her way towards that tavern.
Rhiannon looks somewhere between just overawed and scared, and a little bit just dizzy. So she's kind of like trotting along, but occasionally requires like tugging on her hand in order to start moving again. The other hand is looped through a, for her, reasonably large, but for anyone else, smallish market basket with a towel in it covering something.
I think Willow will just simply kind of be in a silent awe, and actually walking through the dreaming pretty slowly, as she just kind of looks around and takes her environment, and she kind of looks. There's definitely a look of I don't know how to describe it, like almost shock on her face, and familiarity, but she'll kind of make her way and keep focus on following you guys because she doesn't want to get lost.
Yep, she's not beyond reaching out now and again to pluck a sleeve or take a hand, especially like, God help, when Rhea sees her first troll. But yeah, we'll be slowly taking them
They're
along the way.
7.5 feet tall. Enjoy
Rhea
that.
sees her first troll kneecaps.
Yup. And as she gets closer, presuming that Rides has kept in touch to meet her, she will probably, once she gets anywhere close, kind of hop up and flail an arm because she is not especially tall, but Rides has some clearance to see from the entrance of the tavern, most likely.
I mean, he's there in the market, waiting to go in. Like, where the fuck are these people? I want a drink.
So
Just an important point for Rides, because it is something that should be mentioned. Squires all wear a red sash to kind of denote the fact they're squires. Knights wear a red sash or wear a white sash that has gold kind of trimming on it. But ever since Rides got his, people in the market have been giving him respect, like little bows and things that he didn't used to get, because it's actually a big deal, if you understand me. And like, for example, you'll get called sir a lot more often, and the market stalls will be much more polite to you, that kind of way.
Rides is not used to it. Every time someone calls him sir, going, no, that's not. They call me father. Call me this. So there's a lot of that, and you eventually see the gigantic Clericon one standing awkwardly at the pub, going, "These people are nice to me. I need alcohol."
Yeah, if nothing else, he'll hear before he sees, because she'll holler at him. Because these guys are going slow and he looks antsy. But we'll wave him over.
Trods over.
And they get to witness a 7-foot leprechaun. Because that's not weird at all.
He just trods over wearing his big belt and braces with a red sash in between the belt and braces.
Willow will just kind of behind Rhiannon and Bambi, just kind of give a little bit of a wave to Rides, but still in kind of that dreamy look on her face.
Hello there. Pats Bambi on the head.
Bambi is patted. Gives no protest. This is my friend Rhea, and this is... Did you meet Willie yet?
I've met Rides.
Oh, yeah. You were... Yep. Yeah. You met.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rhea, this is Rides.
Rhea will tilt her head all the way back. No.
Well, hello there, milady. Does a big, huge bow.
Oh, like goodness, no. Sir.
What?
Is it Sash? Right?
Yeah, well, I can be polite. So, accept the bow. Jesus, it's hard enough to get back up as it is.
I would help, but she kind of shrugs sheepishly.
Stares down at the tiny little satyr and just nods approvingly. Yes, I like the tiny woman. Just nods to himself.
Do you like Jamie Dodgers?
I would love some, yes.
And she'll just shuffle into the basket and holds up Jamie Dodger.
It's
A
gone.
success, Jamie Dodger.
It's gone.
I'll have you know.
It's gone within seconds.
Fucking delicious cookie.
I like a woman who can cook. Nods, slowly, sagely.
She just beams at him. I love cooking.
Well, then you and I are going to get on famously. As he looks over at Willa and just inclines his head like, hello there.
Hey. Been a couple days, huh? You doing good?
Sure. I'm good. The porridge is fine, so I'm grand.
Don't remember seeing that sash there.
Well,
Mean anything?
But I'm a squire and all that, so I have to keep up appearances. Otherwise, looks around, looks left, looks right, looks at the people being all polite to him, and just kind of shudders a bit. Well, otherwise, the old, Lord will be like, why are you not wearing your sash? So, I'm wearing my sash. Look at it. It's red.
It's very red.
Very nice.
It looks very dashing.
What she said.
Well, are we going to stand around here or are we going to go and get drunk? I mean, drink. I mean, socialize.
Well, never drunk in a place like this, so should be interesting.
Well, I shall be your guide. As he starts walking, parting ways like the Red Sea.
It
They
does
will
make it easier to walk
scramble
through
to
market.
follow. There's a frantic.
Yep. There are many clippity clops right in his wake.
Many, many.
Once again, Willow will probably be the last one to go inside since she's still walking pretty slowly as she enters the building and follows you guys to take a seat.
Okay, for the record, guys, because it's just going to be easier if we are inside, because we actually have something that we will be talking about, so it makes sense for you to enter. As you enter, you will see the fact that... So, you've seen trolls up until now, and trolls are pretty, particularly for the tiny, tiny satyr. Itty-bitty satyr. Trolls are scarily huge. Now, so your average troll is about 8.5, it's about 7.5 feet tall. 7 feet
Oh
to
my.
7.5 feet tall. Imagine what a troll with a huge size merit looks like.
Oh my.
Yeah. You will see two of those standing. Basically, there's a small alcove in the bar that's right next to the bar that takes up about 30% of the interior, but it basically juts out from behind the tavern proper. It's essentially, the tavern is a square, but there's another square that's been attached to it in order to elongate it. In that, standing in front of that square there, you will see two heavily armed and armored-looking trolls, both with a huge size, Merit. I love my trolls. I really do. They make me smile. Just kind of casually, clearly on guard duty. There are only 3 other people in the establishment. I'm going to take some liberties just to kind of bring people together to do the role play thing. So you will see 2 very attractive people in the form of myself and Heather, who's actually more attractive than I am. Shakes fist.
Oh my.
And you will also see what I will lovingly refer to as Street Sharks, the person. Red caps. And the 3 of them are seated at a table as the only patrons in the establishment. The table itself has nearly been eaten by paper and scrolls and designs that are covering it, as well as the maps.
For a second, I thought you were going to say the red cap.
Yeah,
No.
I did too.
No. You will see one of the little boggins potter up from behind the bar. He will say something to one of the trolls. It's rather comic because the troll nearly has to bend over double to listen to the little boggin. The boggin will say something. The troll will nod. He's carrying a tray that has a wine bottle and glasses on it. He will then walk up. He will bow very low. He will bow first to the female. He will bow first to the red cap, then to the female she, then to the male she, and he will place his little tray up on the table. before he will withdraw. That's what you see.
So who wants a glass of wine?
Well, considering the absolute state that we're in, I think I deserve one, or rather need one, or rather exist for one.
Raven will pour a generous glass of wine and pass it to Tadjil. And she will offer one to Kincaid.
Who I think is Marcus! That, he'll be there in a minute.
I'm good.
No wine?
Nope, it's not what I like to drink.
All right. Well, in that case, Raven keeps that glass for herself. And actually, no, she doesn't keep that glass for herself. She sets that glass aside and pushes it over toward Tangel in case he wants one. And then she takes the open wine bottle and just has a drink from it.
Scandalous.
He will casually shrug, and he'll say, needless to say, the problem emerges once again. If Ulster are able to secure a marriage agreement with Connacht, and they enter the war, we will unfortunately be defeated in about 2 to 3 months. There's nothing that can be done about it. With our resources already depleted fighting the plague, he'll then look up as he sees Rides enter, and he'll give him a nod of the head.
Rides inclines his head and sees Raven drinking out of the bottle and just rubs his beard like, yes. And then just nod at Tintagel.
His entourage will enter behind. And comically, somehow the taller of the satyrs, you never thought she'd be taller than anyone. We'll pause and, lean over to murmur to either one, just making sure they understand that, that's a she, that's a red cap, and those guys are nobles. Be polite. And that one's a 9.
She'll give a thumbs up.
Who are your friends, Squire? He'll say from his seat as he sips his wine.
Steps to the side. That's Bambi. That's Bambi's friend, and that's Bambi's other friend.
Remind me never to make you my crier should we ever have another ball. It'll be, this is Jim, this is Jim's wife, these are Jim's kids.
I mean, to be fair, my lord, that's how most of us clericons introduce each other, so I'm going off the basis here.
That is entirely fair. He'll kind of gesture you forward with a very kind of small flick of the wrist, like come here.
Skips on his heels and walks over.
No. He wasn't gesturing at you. He was gesturing at the others. But sorry, Marcus, you continue.
Kincaid will get up and he'll move away from the table to stand, like not far away from it, but close to it because it's Bambi.
I'm so worried about this evasion. But yeah, no. Pepper will perk right up and go ahead and trot over, not seeming especially for all that she said their nobles be polite. She trots right over pretty readily, seemingly reasonably comfortable, at least with Tangel. Oh, and once she gets to a pause, we'll gesture back on one side and then the other. This is my friend Rhea. And this is Willa.
She'll give while her hands are crossed, she'll give a 2-fingered salute to Tintagel.
The eyebrow goes, I was going to say the eyebrow goes up at the salute. Like just kind of what I would lovingly refer to as she eyebrow raise engaged.
Not 2-fingered salute. Not super formal.
He'll say, I am not the Mockingjay.
She'll tilt her head to the side and look confused and raise an eyebrow. I'm not sure what you mean.
He'll extend his hand, however, for the satyr to kind of straighten herself, and he'll say, you, on the other hand, show correct decorum. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
It is an honor. Thank you.
Allow me to do formal introduction. Oh, sorry, continue, Katie.
I was going to say, just for the sake of making it very clear, I imagine that Willa, has no chimerical difference in appearance? She just looks like a person?
Yeah, she just looks like a person.
Normal fucking person just walking around.
Well, Canaan are not inherently, Canaan are not inherently uncommon. I mean, they're not,
really?
as common. Yeah, they happen. Like, don't get me wrong, in a changeling market, maybe conservatively, they're like ghouls and vampire, but probably to a slightly less obvious extent.
Oh yeah, I figured this is the first one Bambi's seen at least, so I imagine to Angel it's perfectly fucking normal.
He will say, as he says, allow me to do formal introductions in that case. He will say, as he extends his hand, by the way, do I know Kincaid's second name?
Nope.
Okay.
You mean his last name? His surname?
His
yes,
surname.
you know his surname. Yeah, you know his surname.
Duncern, yeah.
Yep.
Allow me to introduce Kincaid de Duncern ap Scavach. Is it Bonnie that we use for the female? I can't remember. Oh, it's Knee. It's Knee, isn't it? There we go. Sorry, that took me a moment. Raven Celestus Knee Fiona. And I am Tintagel Flicker Flame. No, I'm sorry, he'll say Lady Celestus Fiona. Lady Raven Celestus Amp Fiona. And I'm Count Tintagel Flicker Flame Amp Dougal. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Rhiannon looks slightly flustered.
That was a fucking mouthful, wasn't it?
I am right, by the way. It is Knee, isn't it, for the female?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, because Bonnie is what the Order of Hermes say for each other. So, yes. I'm good. He'll look down at her and he'll say, is all not well?
I've just never met quite so many high-ranking individuals at once before. I apologize.
Pepper will just reach over and kind of poke the basket so that she's reminded that she's holding it.
I brought cookies.
Oh, you brought goodies.
Just kind of like holds up the basket with both hands.
In that case, he'll snap his fingers again, and the boggin will literally come at a small... Bear in mind, the boggin's probably about the same size as the satyr, and he'll come at a jog. And he'll say, if you have supplied me with food, then I must after all supply you with the drink. That is only fair. What would you desire?
A sauterne would probably go very well with the Dodgers. But
He'll
tea's
kind of
fine.
He'll look at Pepper and he'll say, oh no, madam, I can supply the first quite happily. And you, miss, he'll say, looking at Pepper with a little tiny notebook.
Oh, his tiny notebook. Sorry, I had a moment. I have moments, okay?
It's okay.
And she kind of glanced back and probably just asked for cider. Cider's fine.
He was about to ask Rides, at which point Tintagel says, Squire Rides here will have, I believe it's whatever your finest draft ale is, and I believe the phrase is keep them coming.
Kicks his fingers like a man.
They have one finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
I don't want it. I just want to make sure they do.
Yeah, well, yeah. He will take all the drink orders because I'm assuming there will be more drink orders before he will literally do his what I would lovingly refer to as boggin jog back behind.
Rides will also ask for mate. Mate.
We had to recalibrate the Wumblebots in order to accept the definition of mate as meat. That's
At which point Kincaid will look at the large Irishman and go, really?
I have a hard time understanding why that would even be an issue.
I have a hard time understanding what he's saying.
I have a hard time understanding what you're saying. Looks over.
How do you have an okay. For everybody here, Heather doesn't do Irish accents.
Thank God.
Well,
Yeah, ditto.
Occasionally I might pick up on Tornas if we're talking long enough. That said, she has about as Irish an Irish accent as Rides does.
Kincaid, on the other hand, does not.
Tintagel probably sounds like he's English because I've never given it much thought, but he was born in England, so.
Kincaid is a Scotsman. He's one of them Scotch Irish people that like live in both places. He's not happy about it.
Tintagel will stand up and he will offer his hand to the tiny satyr.
She will put her hand in his and look slightly confused. Like, am I shaking it?
He will take it. He'll actually hold it. He'll take your basket because it looks heavy for you to hold with one hand.
It's pretty. There are several dozen cookies in that basket.
He will place it on the table, and he will very politely direct you to a comfortable place to sit before he will remove his hand and retake his own seat because he felt that was the gentlemanly thing to do.
She mumbles a thank you and then probably mumbles another thank you as Aboggin manages to like shove a pair of cushions under her before she sits down so that she can see her at the table.
Then yeah. Pepper will make sure that she and Willa are reasonably situated before climbing into a seat, probably right alongside Rides.
Squire Rides. Sorry, continue.
No, I should just say, am I good to sit here with y'all? She wants to say y'all, should probably say whatever.
Darling, come on, have a seat. Raven will grab her by the hand and pull her in to sit next to her.
Tintagel will very politely say as he lifts his wine to his mouth, "If you really want another pet, my dear, that's entirely your business, I assure you."
A little doughier flick back.
She'll sit down. She doesn't seem too uncomfortable, but she does raise an eyebrow at that.
Your mind, your tongue, Irish Englishman.
Honestly, Tintagel, she's not really my type for that. But she is cute. And we should be accommodating.
Yes, indeed.
After all, aren't we the height of civility?
So the legend goes.
That says on the paperwork.
He'll say, "Squire Rides, I have something that I need to speak to you about. It's good you're here."
Oh, well, of course, yes. Yes.
As you know, your knighthood is scheduled for, and he'll insert the date because it'll be whenever Kim's around. I have no doubt that you're aware after our successful raid that I have been granted a rather large tract of land.
Well, I heard it through the grapevine, but yes.
Indeed. When you are knighted, I intend to make you sheriff of that territory.
Oh, well. Takes a small sip of his ale, going, and internally he's not thinking, yes!
Congratulations.
I need someone who can understand the commoners and liaise with them properly. I can't unfortunately spare any of my trio of knights as their duties will be required elsewhere, but you, I think, will make a rather sterling example of a sheriff. And bring dignity to the office.
Oh, totally. Yup.
He will then say under his breath, "It will also come with a draw stipend."
Well, that's the project and business, boy.
Indeed. I would question, my apologies for my... What was your name? Something? He will say, looking to the tiny satyr.
Rhiannon. Sir.
I see. He will say a small note of etiquette. He will point to Lady Celestis, and he'll say, based on title, she, Lady Celestis, is a lady. So my lord / my lady is correct. In my particular case, Your Excellency is correct.
Of course, Your Excellency.
If you meet a duke, it is your grace, etc., etc., etc. The king is your majesty, the prince is your highness, etc. Just small notes of etiquette. He
Thank
will
you.
nearly instinctively hold a hand up to Kincaid and say, don't you butt in. Don't do it.
Raven gets a
Kincaid.
grin on her face. Yes,
Kincaid is
but
talking to his spider.
to Tadgel, I don't think you introduced yourself
I
by
think
your rank.
he did
Did
actually.
you?
He called himself Count Tintagel. Yeah, he did.
Ah, yes, that's right. Never mind. That was
Family's
when,
just
when
like-
other people were talking to me.
Yep. Bambi just like, man, this cider. If I'm drinking this, I'm not talking. How convenient.
Brian's slowly drinking his ale, going, I can make my office the pub. I'm a genius, Rise, you're a genius.
um. So I've completely lost my train of thought and can't carry on a conversation right now. Would anyone else like to say something?
Pepper's going to start kind of nosing, looking at all the papers that are splayed out because, let's face it, she has been looking at books and pages and words so much lately that it's almost autopilot at this point.
There are a number of blueprints that have been drawn that you've probably seen Tintagel's handwriting a couple of dozen times at this point. It's really kind of spidery and pretty. So you can tell that he wrote some of them. So that there are a number of blueprints based on the design he's currently working on for the hammer that you know exists, or will exist rather. There's also a very large map of Ireland that has it divided up, not into the counties of Ireland, but into many hundreds of smaller areas, which you assume are the baronies, counties, and duchies that are basically, the she and the various different politics of the region. So, it has different tiny little noble crests in each area. And he'll say, my apologies. Before you entered, we were discussing the fact of the imminent marriage alliance between Ulster and Connacht, and we hope the fact that Connacht will not join the war against us.
Or
There's a
Do
war?
we really not have any marriageable candidates?
I believe that Ulster merely struck first and made the offer, and the King of Connacht was inclined to agree. He is a member of my own house, so the fact he would openly sell his daughter to a member of House Baelor is somewhat irritating. And yes, we are at war. He will say, he'll turn, he'll quirk an eyebrow, and he'll say, you did not know we were at war. He kind of is looking at the new people.
I have not talked to very many people yet, Your Excellency.
I've just rediscovered things, I guess you could say. Your Excellency.
I don't feel bad. The only reason I know about it is I responded to a call for bodies, and we wound up raiding a territory in Ulster.
She's correct. But yes, he'll pull up, he'll show his map, and he'll say, to give you a brief overview, the kingdom that we are in, the kingdom of Leinster, he'll denote it on the map, it's where Dublin is and a big chunk of the Midlands, is currently at war with Ulster. He'll denote Northern Ireland and Belfast. And he'll say, our king, long may he reign, King Bran ap Gwydion, or Bran ap Gwydion, and King Dariath ap Baelor are currently locked in a struggle with one another.
Oh dear.
And I'm guessing there's been a marriage with a neutral party based on what you're talking about?
Indeed. The king of Ulster, King Dariath, is marrying his daughter to the King of Connacht. He'll denote Connacht on the map, and to their king, a member of my own house, House Dougal.
Seems like that's quite the disadvantage.
Indeed. King Darius will stop at nothing in order to crown himself High King.
High King of Ireland?
Yes. The Ardrai.
And how would you expect things to be under his rule?
He'll side-eye Kincaid at that point, kind of like, how would you expect it to be under King Darius' noble rule?
You really want me to answer that?
Emphatically.
He'll probably fuck all your eye holes closed. And on Tuesdays, remove your skin for fun. And then make you beg for him to do it again the next fucking day. And that's Monday.
Those Baylor's nasty business.
Baylor, Baylor. That sounds familiar.
Have you ever heard of King Balor of the Evil Eye?
It definitely rings a bell.
Does it now?
Out of character, are we talking about King Baylor in like Celtic mythology, or in? Is that a changeling name?
It's both.
Both.
Okay, so she'll say, yeah, she'll say that sounds familiar.
Unfortunately, House Baylor are what happens when the noble blood of the Sidhe mixes with Fomori filth.
Mixes with what filth? Sorry.
Fomori filth.
Ooh.
Fomori are what the Tuatha fought against. The Tuatha fought against, no?
Yes. The Tuatha and myself and he'll denote Lady Celeste, he'll denote Heather, and the Tuatha are our ancestors.
Lottie fucking down.
Interesting.
They designed each one of us with a purpose.
Yes,
Never let
yes,
us
they
forget
did.
it. And they'll never let us forget it, will you?
The Sidhe were given the right to rule by the Tuatha and the Dreaming. I think it's mostly something that you choose not to forget.
Doesn't help. You're there to help us remember that, does.
Would it be rude to ask why they chose the Sidhe?
No, fuck me.
Later.
Tintagel kind of wrinkles his nose ever so slightly, like, how could you ask such a question?
She asked, would it be rude? Remember.
No, it wouldn't be rude. It'd be stupid.
Right.
Out of character.
Right.
Oh.
Rise just leans back. It's like, here we go.
Man, this wine is delicious.
Raven split.
Color is
Raven-
just beautiful.
Because these two fucking Sidhe will sit here and prattle on for the next 12 hours about how fucking perfect they are, about how they're fucking chosen by this, that, and the third. You want to sit here and listen to that? You can. I'm leaving if that's what's gonna happen.
No, stay.
For a shrug.
It's just the way it is.
We each represent something. That is the important thing. Not the fact what the Sidhe represent or what we were chosen to be or what our benefices are given by the Dreaming itself. But we all represent something. As I said to Miss Pepper yesterday, or the day before yesterday, the Satyr were meant to represent those times when man needed the amority, when they needed to know the fact that desire meant desire, and when they needed to know sensation and the truth that it represented, when they needed the bacchanals, and when they needed to sit and love one another beneath moon and candlelight. That is what the Satyr were meant to represent.
Well, that's very poetic.
The Sidhe were meant to tell all the rest of us what we were meant to represent.
Yes. Once again, anointed by the dreaming to do our job.
Yeah, he splooged all over you when he did that, didn't he?
God damn it, Marcus.
He just keeps shooting, looks over like, oh god, he said the thing. Doesn't even look mad, just like, oh, well, that happened.
Well, it kind of has to look like, oh shit, something happened, but she doesn't know exactly what happened.
You need a towel to wipe some of the anointment off there?
Debbie,
At this
like,
point-
literally has to stifle a laugh. Like, very suddenly is drinking cider again, like, can't laugh, I'll choke and die, can't laugh.
At this point, Tintagel is going to take a cookie from the box. He chose his moment well.
He goes, creamy filling.
So, the dreaming has a form of sentience. It isn't just a place.
What the? Who is this chick?
It's literally her first time here, don't be mean.
On a
red
side note,
If it makes everyone more comfortable, if I stop asking questions, I can do that.
he'll hold up his hand and he'll say, on a side note, before I continue with my counterpoint, Rhiannon or Rhea, these cookies are amazing, right?
6 successes, yeah.
Holy Nelly. Okay. He will eat one, and then he will do the smile that is pictured in his gif.
Got a
He
mouthful of
apparently
anointment there,
smells
don't you?
like Satan when he has delicious cookies. Noted.
I now use my rank to claim all these cookies.
The red cat will look at him and smile and put the cookie in his mouth and goes, that's a mouthful of anointment there, isn't it?
He'll raise his wine glass to fuck you, Marcus. God damn it. Stop. He'll raise his wine glass to his lips and take a sip. Fuck you, Marcus.
Watch that down.
Marcus is being such a fucking savage. This is awesome.
Suddenly, Pepper has decided the safest place in the room is in Rides' lap. It's amazing how that happens. She's just there all of a sudden.
Oh,
Still has
God.
the cider.
No, he'll look at Willa and he'll say, as he finished sipping his wine, "Indeed, no. If you need an education, we will provide you an education. The dreaming is indeed sentient. It can hear and change. It is based on the dreams of all mankind, solidified down to its purest form."
The goddamn force of fairy magic, Tony. Come on now.
Fair enough.
For example, the dreaming hears your words. Never swear an oath 3 times before the dreaming, because the dreaming will remember it.
Always swear an oath 3 times before the dreaming. It makes it way more interesting.
Well, you shouldn't swear
But
an oath you
no.
don't mean to fulfill.
No, you shouldn't, because then you are an oath breaker. And there is nothing worse than an oath breaker. When he says the word oath breaker, you'll notice the trolls physically grimace or like shudder.
I should have noticed that.
There's people talking in the movie theater. So it's gotta be bad.
Does the dreaming have a personality that's consistent, or is it?
Sounds like it has a sense of humor.
It's a raging cunt, alright.
Marcus? I don't know. I can't hear.
And it's a raging cunt. He said it's a raging cunt. That's what it is.
Well, that could be described to humanity, so that makes sense.
Hashtag troll triggered. Fucking love you, Torna. He will take another sip of his wine, but yes, at this time, meat has been brought out.
Met.
Yeah, he just shoves Bambi out of the way. Get out of the way! Does he start devouring it? You're
Out
interrupting.
of curiosity. Oh, go ahead, Torna.
You're interrupting the maid woman.
For what it's worth, she spills right off of his lap, looking. Yeah, at worst, gives him like a tail flick, like, "Oh, I see how it is." A little tail
You
flick.
know what? Because he's in a gentlemanly mood, Tintagel will stand up and offer his hand to help her up.
Oh, she spills right under her feet, probably. Truth be told, I mean, his lap is pretty high off the ground, but
just like bodily slam her on the floor. He just like moves her back down to where she was sitting. He's like, move out of the way.
Just move farther away from the table.
Out of curiosity, Torna, how hard is Raven gonna get her hand smacked, giving into her impulse to just take a little piece of meat from Red's plate and give it a taste?
One way to find out.
Because she's doing
it's no
that
fun
right
if-
now.
It's so fun if you ask ahead of time.
He's gonna pop you right in the titty.
I mean, you extend your hand, and suddenly the big meat cleaver of a hand just slams down. Doesn't hit your hand, but slams down in front of it. It's my mate.
Fine, I'll order my own, and if I don't like it, I'll feed it to you. How about that?
That's more like it.
It is generally
Little
polite
smile.
to ask man before you touch his meat, anyway.
Baby
No,
losing it.
I have an open door policy.
Hi.
Don't get an ass. Just reach out.
I choose to point out, yes, however, most people rather than meat not beat disease, Squire Scaffatch.
You would know. Yours is like made out of servos, isn't it?
Although like covers her mouth like, oh shit.
He will very casually, you know what? Tataja will very calmly stand up and unbutton his tunic and let it fall over his shoulder. So it is now half naked she time.
Does this increase his appearance score or decrease
I'm-
it?
That's
I'm waiting for this funny to happen.
It's probably, well, he's incredibly physically fit and strong, so he probably does have the six pack and whatever else have you, realistically. But then he's going to turn his back to you, like as in turn physically around 360. His spine protrudes through his skin and appears to be almost like a railway track, but it appears to be made entirely out of clockwork and golden metal.
Oh my.
blink,
So,
Whoa.
blink, blink.
he'll say, "Other parts of me are made of servos and metal. I assure you, in other ways, I have full functionality."
I'm not
It'd be
sure how I
fun function.
expected that to go, but
Yeah,
this
it-
wasn't it.
Look, if you whipped it out and it had clockwork and that shit still worked, it'd still be fully functional, wouldn't it?
In theory, yes. He'll put on his tunic, but he won't button it up, so he'll just kind of sit there with it open, and he'll say, "For those of you who don't know, House Dougal are the house of craftsmen and artificers. However, we become more like our creations as we achieve our ranks in the house. So, for example, my heart is made out of stained glass. My back is made out of... Would you care to see it, Squire Scaffatch?
You know what? I got a picture of a heart. That'll mean it worked.
Penny
My
frown.
heart is made from stained glass. My back is made from solid gold. It ticks along with the same proficiency as a clock."
And there's nope, not gonna do it.
Whispers into Bambi's ear. Look at those nipples. That's she nipples, Bambi.
She fucking doubles over, giggling for no apparent. Well, because he whispered something, but there is probably at least one or two, like, as she's straining to breathe, like the little bleats, because god damn it.
Does she do that when you? No, I'll ask later.
He just nods at Kincaid. Moya.
So she's a bleeder. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's the most adorable thing I've ever heard or the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
It's a little like,
Nope,
least you know
nope,
what-
scratch that. It's adorable.
At least you know when she's close.
Oh yeah.
she finally, well, with the way this conversation is turned, she gets control of herself and it's turned colors, but like, oh, bye. I see.
No,
you know what?
I
The
take
cup's
that back.
empty.
Her face right now is actually the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Rhiannon
Oh, look,
is also
I-
an elegant shade of tomato. They match.
I feel almost like I should roll my appearance expression to just be like, boom, I rock this. As a matter of fact, I am going to do that.
Baby has like knee jerk reached for the cup of cider again, realized it's empty, but like, oh, well, that I'll be right back. Try. Click.
You know what? Fucking, I'm going to spend willpower on this.
I feel like the boggin catches her like 2 steps from the table, already
wow.
coming with another drink.
2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 successes on his appearance expression roll to just rock this.
Are we having a pretty off?
Seems like it. I mean, he is.
Right just leans back, perfectly defined and everything. Looks right at Tintando's nipples. You want the appearance off? I'll look at it.
Oh God!
He's like, I'm too sexy for this pub. Too sexy for this pub.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like she gets the new drink, immediately puts it in her face, fucking rides, goes like straight laser eyes for the she nipples, and she chokes. She chokes so hard.
No, just Willow as well. Look at that. They're like points, like precise.
Willow's just starting to just smile and just chuckle a lot.
You know, you'd think that she was better at that whole choking thing.
I assure you, I'm not a member of House Lian, and I'm led to understand they enjoy that type of thing.
Who doesn't?
Fire engine red.
What's House Lianon all about?
Fucking.
No.
I cannot insult the House Lianon, the most noble house of my liege lord. Long may the prince live.
House Lianon. What's a nice, polite way to put this? I didn't know they existed until I arrived here. That's a great way to put that. At least I don't think I did.
Well, were they considered missing or something?
No. House Lianon are House Lianon. They are the House of Muses, and they very much enjoy their position.
Fair enough.
Though I'm led to understand that Count Leo, my brother Count, also enjoys certain musings.
I mean, who doesn't?
Uncreative people.
Exactly. Kincaid knows what's up.
Oh, by the way, because I really should do this. Did Kim give you new players changeling lore?
She has not given us lore.
No.
I think.
I have not. I haven't even spent all my XP yet.
Okay, continue.
Oh, I've gotten it.
I was gonna say I'm just leaning on the complete lack of remembrance as an excuse to not know shit.
Same here.
If you got, hang on, she should have given you lores if she approved the characters.
Oh, I mean, let me double check and see if she edited the sheet.
In her approval post, maybe.
I've got 1 dot.
There was not an approval post. There was just pasting over the sheet.
Nope, I got no lures.
Nothing.
Okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
odd.
I don't see
Probably just
lures
forgot.
added onto my sheet.
Oh wait. Oh yes. Oh okay. Yes. I have Changeling, Satyr, and Dreaming lore, which means that I didn't do some research.
Okay, if you guys, because he actually...
No, you're right, Evan. I do have them. I just lost them. Yeah, they're all the way down at the bottom of the sheet. So
awesome. If you guys want to rock, because Kim normally does this, but when you first meet him, but it's cool if not. If you guys want to rock a changeling, an intelligence changeling lore, we're pretty famous for doing something.
Oh Lord, we go again.
I'm actually going to avoid rolling it because she probably wouldn't have heard of it, in all honesty.
Yeah, why not?
Ooh, nice. 3 successes.
Nice.
Also 3 successes.
Okay. In the Golden Age, aka before the Sheaf led to Arcadia, Tintagel forged Excalibur.
Oh,
The Excalibur.
he's not young.
Well, no, he like most of his brothers fled to and sisters fled to Arcadia when the Shattering came. So that would have been his first iteration. Basically, this is him in a new body.
Oh, okay.
But he forged Excalibur. It's just something people know.
I'm gonna have her realize that later.
On the bright side, despite the disgrace of Squire, or the former Squire Littlechild, we still now have 4 of the components necessary in order to complete the great work to break this plague. So, positivity.
What are we still lacking?
Featherwood, which is a very rare wood found in the Dreaming, and silver touched by moonlight itself.
How does that differ from a pair of earrings left out at night? I'm sure there must be something, but
With the Dreaming, everything's a story. Even the creation of a thing is a story. So, the better the story is and how it's created, the more potent in question the item becomes. I have a theory as to what we might do in order to find silver touched by the hand of moonlight itself. Needless to say, we shall have to see. Oh, and we also require, because we haven't completed that quest yet, a hammer wielded by a one-eyed, one-armed master smith who has forged something of legend with it.
do you happen to know of any?
I do. That one is already currently in the process of being remedied. Oh yes, of course you wouldn't know. Our fair kingdom is currently in the grip of an infection being spread by it. He kind of stops himself. He's about to say Dontaine, but that would mean about as much to you as, nothing. By an
Pepper
entity.
told me, actually.
Ah, you've been told. Excellent.
I haven't heard about this infection.
Just to make it easier to understand, Dontaine are like us, but the Fey bit that is reborn is twisted and wrong and tainted. It's just the way they are. There's no healing it. There's no purifying it. They're just wrong.
Well, they say that. He'll say as he stands up and kind of unfurls one of his scrolls, and he'll say, "What I'm creating is the greatest." Who has hold back our nose? Wow.
It is
It is also stopped, so all is good.
okay.
He will say, "What I'm creating, the item that I am attempting to build, will be the greatest curative ever created, or at least I believe so. It should have the power to reverse any condition, to put a stop to any disease, to bring back even things that are thought broken beyond repair. It is my hope that it will be able to even." He will contemplate his next words. "I anticipate this will destroy the item, and it will never be able to be recreated. And I accept this. I accept that a masterwork, a work of legend, may be destroyed in the process, but it may enable us to save the soul of that poor creature. And if it is indeed possible, then we must try."
I think even in it breaking, it will be definitely a legendary thing done.
Indeed.
Do you think if you do that, all the people who have been made sick will be cured?
Get better.
I hope so. At the moment, my knight, Sir Crib Ap Darwan, is currently seeing to some of the most seriously ill. However, our resources are spread dangerously thin. We also need to man the northern border in order to make sure that the contemplates. aggressors from the north do not slow down into our kingdom. This is causing great strain. Oh, who are we kidding? I have to roll against that, Torna. God damn it. I can't actually roll. Every time I roll this, even though I've only got like a pool of 2, I always do really well, and I don't know why.
I saw your phrase and I'm like, well,
Damn it, Marcus.
Oh, he does not see shit.
nope.
Hang on. What do you roll against that?
Peony.
It's peony, yeah, perception empathy. Also known as that stat that my house gets really terrible at.
Lol, 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 lol.
How many successes did you have?
3.
I got 4.
Yeah, so did I. The satyrs are under your shit.
It's when he's talking about any condition can be fixed, anything can be repaired, and then Rides just goes very quiet, and then there's this deep look in his face as if he's thinking about something, and there's a conflicted look on his face.
He'll get kind of a sideways look. And then she goes back to studying this wine, because, man, this wine. So good.
But that is my hope, anyway. Even still, if nothing else, the item will be able to protect the wielder from the plague long enough to at least strike them down. And even in death, may they find some measure of release. No, on to lighter topics, he'll say, shaking his head, because he actually appears to go like very melancholic for a moment.
Yes. Lighter topics.
He'll say, Rhea, may I ask a service of you?
I would entertain any request that you might offer, Your Excellency.
It's simply this. When next I host a ball, I would very much like for you to provide the cake.
Oh. Oh, most certainly. I would be delighted.
Good. I shall have to hold one to celebrate our event. I shall have to hold one when we have our eventual victory over the plague, when the people are well again and home, for all to enjoy.
She nods vigorously.
Does Kincaid not come anywhere near the table, even with the cookies there? Just because I'm curious.
Yes, avoiding like the plague.
Aww. Next time she will bring multiple baskets.
Mm. How goes your attempts to tackle the library, Miss Pepper?
For the most part, fairly well. It's getting closer and closer. It's just pulling all the books down off a set of shelves, wiping, putting them up, filling all the gaps with the ones that are everywhere. But it's much cleaner, and things are finally getting back in the order they should be.
You're cleaning up a library?
Mhm.
Where is this library?
Oh, it's in his castle. kind of points over it at Titangel.
Interesting. You have a castle. Guess that would make sense.
The Flying Castle Levite, the only one of its kind.
Where is it stationed currently, OOC Evan? Would she have seen it?
It's outside the Changeling Market, so very possibly it looms over the walls.
So that's what I was saying, looking up. Impressive.
Though I will admittedly be moving it soon. Now that I've been given the responsibility of ruling a county by the king, I need to move it in order to be the central point of the county.
And hilariously, Pepper will kind of, without thinking, open her mouth to ask a question and kind of pause, blink a few times, and just kind of closes her mouth like, oh yeah. It is the funniest kind of start and stop.
What did you mean to say, Miss Pepper?
I am not used to having well, I've only had Perryton a little while. I was going to ask how I was going to keep working on the library, but I should be able to get there just fine as long as I know where it is.
It's not going to be terrifically far, I assure you. More than likely somewhere on the city's outskirts.
Oh, good.
I will also have to build a suitable tavern so that the sheriff can have his office in it.
She'll glance up. Is Ride still completely zoned out?
Yep.
Are you quite all right, Squire?
Huh?
Are you quite all right?
Oh, yeah. This wine, this ale and cookies. Yeah, great. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He looks mildly concerned.
As you say.
So, what types, since I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who know more than me, what types of tasks do the dreaming gives to different fae?
He'll blink. The dreaming doesn't give tasks to anyone.
I thought you said earlier that... Or maybe I should rephrase the question. What kind of representations do fae embody?
Oh, that's somewhat simpler. He'll lean back in his chair and he'll contemplate. The Boggans represent hearth and home, the warmth of the hearth and the feeling that you get when you find that home place. They are some of the finest crafters, along with others that exist within the dreaming. They are the genesis of the fairy who could cobble 100 shoes in a night, for example. Then you have the Cluricon, you will say, denoting rides, who represent fiery passion and the willingness to fight, even when all hope is lost. The most rowdy, he will say truthfully, they are most rowdy, but then again, some of the most stern and honest friends you will ever have.
Well, that's lovely.
The Ishu represent the random nomadic tales. They are the 1001 Arabian Nights. They are the tales of the monkey that went east, that went west, etc. They are the tales that are spontaneous. They are the adventurers at heart. They are those who see no boundaries, but merely see possibilities.
Interesting.
The Pisci, who represent childlike fun, the concept that everything is simply so it can be had. Oftentimes they have sticky fingers, but then again they also have immense hearts. The Puka are tricksters, mischievous, the dreams of naughty children who fool their parents into thinking that they have not been given dessert and yet have already had 3 slices of cake. But then again, they also are designed to teach lessons and to make sure even the mighty remember that the mighty can fall. The red caps, he will say, denoting Kincaid, are the dreams of hunger, the desperate place that you only get to whenever you're at your lowest. However, also the will in order to overcome and in order to strive, even when it is you feel that you cannot strive anymore. Hang on, where am I next? The sages I have already explained. The Selkie represent the thrill of the unknown, represent those unknown dark places wherein you may find wonder and majesty. They are also beautiful, because it is so this mystery is beautiful.
I remember
He'll-
hearing about Selkies.
He'll tap his breastplate and he'll say, the She represent nobility, and they represent kings and knights of old. We are, as I said, the ones given the mandate to rule by the dreaming itself and by the Tuatha, who are our parents. And the Slua represents secrets, hushed whispers, intrigues, the many different facets of life that can only be seen through the eyes of one who does not see, but merely experiences. They know much, but often say little. They are devious, yet they are honest. They are dark, and yet they sometimes walk in the light. And trolls, he will say, denoting the trolls who are standing guard over their little party, represent the stubborn nobility that is only found in he who, once he has set his stone in the ground, once he has set his honor upon the reckoning, will never take a backward step. They are the finest warriors I have ever known, and the truest friends that one can honestly ask for. Once they swear their oath is ironclad. They will never risk becoming oath breakers for things they hate more than anything else.
All very interesting.
And those are just the Kithane. That is not to go over the Tharlane, creatures of nightmares, the Garlane, creatures of nature. There are many different types.
So theoretically, there could be many more.
Just shrug. Anything's possible.
Guess so.
If it can be dreamed into existence, it can exist.
And that's a lot of things. Human mind is strange like that, I suppose.
This one certainly is.
You all are very interesting. Never thought I'd see anything like this in my life. Or at least think it would be as real as I thought it was.
It was definitely a bit disconcerting when everything started.
Everything started?
The chrysalis?
That I've never heard of. But it sounds like a moment of transformation.
Sort of.
Of course, you have not experienced a chrysalis. That
Waking
is
up.
the becoming a fae, or becoming a changeling.
Sounds like it can be definitely a whirlwind of an experience. Do you have to be fairy blooded or anything like that, or can theoretically anyone become Githane?
In theory, it could happen to anyone. You don't have to be fae-blooded in order for it to happen, but, well, people become changelings in different ways. And some of them are a bit unseemly.
Guess that would make sense. She seems to then ponder everything you guys have just said.
Pepper has likewise gone rather quiet. She still has a hand kind of idly set on top of one of Ride's, but man, what an interesting piece of paper that is.
I will roll perk empathy on Katie. I got 3 successes, but I guess Defender wins. So.
Yes.
I know nothing.
Dun dun dun. It's because I'm a sneaky snake. I got nothing. Rhiannon might be drunk. There was a lot of wine consumed while she was trying not to be part of the conversation.
She's now rosy cheeked through assistance.
Well, not as interesting as a night at the pub by itself can be. Things do seem to have taken a turn for the boring.
Boring?
No offense to anyone here.
I found it nice and peaceful, actually. Something about this place. You said it was made by one of these, Buggins, or?
Oh, yes. It is indeed made by Boggin hands.
Guess so. Feels like home.
They're good at that.
Of course, it's possible you feel like you're at home because it's the first time you are home in a while.
Maybe. She just shrugs.
I think I should take you to see Karina.
Why
That's
would
what
would you want to take? Am I not she noble enough? Oh.
She's met Karina.
I've met Karina.
You have met Karina. Well then.
Mm-hmm. Although things were... She kind of looks towards Bambi and rides. Quite hectic at that time. Didn't really get to say.
Man.
Rubs his beard. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh,
let me
yeah.
just roll this again.
Oh yeah, when you met him riding the light.
Bambi is the very image of innocent. Innocent.
Why?
She was occupied at the time.
Let me tell you, this is a great fucking story. Okay, so we are all high off balls. Okay, I'm not high. I'm just a red cap. So I'm up there dancing in shades, shaking like a salt shaker. And all of a sudden, Bambi starts to shake her little goat butt, and everybody gets crazy. It was amazing. Then Rides, in his huge bigness, pulls his totem pole out and rails the hell out of Karina. It was amazeballs. It was behind closed doors, and it sounded like a freaking battle.
He'll raise an eyebrow and look at Rides, and he'll say, "You and Lady Stormfury."
Takes
Well,
a sip.
It's okay though. She was on top, so it's all good.
Okay. Now, hold on just a minute here.
Rhiannon is not nearly drunk enough. Where's that Boggin?
Yep.
It
Maybe
happened
the same line of
behind
thought.
closed doors?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I think that was the propriety thing or whatever, but it was great. I heard thunder and lightning crashes, and they were speaking all kinds of weird languages. I mean, I can barely understand the Irish guy already.
Okay,
So he got all kinds of weird.
So the doors are closed, so how do you know what happened?
Because I'm a pervert.
So you peeked.
Bambi is just getting redder and redder.
I believe one of Karina's words were, "I will break you like a toothpick."
It was amazing.
Rhiannon is sliding under the table. Like,
No, you don't understand. Okay, you see how, I mean,
It didn't
math
start
alone-
behind closed doors.
yeah, I'm just saying, rides alone is like 9 feet tall. So you gotta imagine proportion-wise, at least you got table leg out of there. So he was railing with a club.
Willa just starts laughing.
Keeps turning redder and redder.
I don't know how Bambi walks, to be perfectly honest with you. I think they got some kind of healing salve. But anyway,
She
I'm
is
just
hit
saying.
fire engine. It doesn't get redder than this.
The best part of all this, Rise doesn't blush. Rise doesn't. He's like, yeah, I did that. What of it?
I
wrote a
mean,
sheet.
Raven,
Willa just shrugs.
Raven is definitely looking at him a lot differently now.
He just
Look,
has this
Rails
look in
is-
his- he just has
Rails
this
is
look
part
in his-
chimera.
I did it.
There's a chimera in his pants. I'm telling you.
Shrugs. I did it. Yeah, no, doesn't hide it. It's right in his face. Just keeps taking a drink. Like, yeah, what of it?
I didn't think Karina was that type of she.
Karina
We had
knows a
Bambi.
good man. Karina knows a good man when she sees it. That's what Rise says as he takes a long drink.
Right, you
Clearly.
cheated. You brought your wingman. You cheated, right? You brought your wingman. It wasn't game. It was freaking sailor magic.
I
She shook
didn't
her little
bring.
goat butt. She
I
shook her
did
little
not.
goat butt and everybody got crunk. That's what happened. Come on.
I said to Karina, as a respectable woman, would she like to engage in noble endeavors with me? And she said yes.
Bam just
That's-
like hides her face in the drink. I'm not rolling app sub. She's just nope,
You are
nope.
a lying sack of poop. Not what happened.
It was a
He will
little
casually
bit
look
more.
up at Kincaid. He'll say this very, very plainly. He'll say, "You know, I could destroy Lady Stormfury with this information that you give so casually."
Yeah, I know you could.
But
then
that wouldn't be
there's
fun for you, would it?
I'm not
There's
planning
also-
to do it, but I'm just saying that were I more unscrupulous and in a vindictive mood,
And didn't want to win a war?
you'll blink at Bambi and say, "I fail to see the relevance."
Why would that kind of information damage her?
Ooh, let me do it. I got this.
He'll shake a hand. He'll just go, "Yep, come on, continue the train wreck."
Okay, so you gotta understand, not all changelings are created equal. He wasn't joking around. They really believe that shit. So, like, who you're banging and who you're hanging out with will speak to you and your station and your control and lots of control. And you can mess with the place and change and yabba dabba do. It's amazing. It's crazy. I got a handbook and everything. But no, you can't read that to kill you.
There are some things some members of some houses can get away with a little more than others, at least where their own house is concerned.
Takes another sip of his pint.
I happen to be in training, so my training mistress can do whatever she likes to me, so I can learn.
I mean, I'm just a squire. She's a noble. I was,
So you were saying, Squire Rides, that you were just following orders.
I am saying I would not say no to a beautiful woman. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know.
She
will just sit there.
definitely didn't lack for enthusiasm. Continues
He's-
drinking.
He's just, God damn it, people! Stop giving me the information to crush him. Stop it.
I'm just saying. Well, hey, all right, Kendall, let's be fair. If she starts shaking her little goat butt, you're gonna fail too.
Wait, what?
What?
If she starts shaking her little goat butt, you're gonna do the same thing.
I'm a
What?
happy married
She
man.
reverts right back to red.
Rhiannon just looks confused at this
And
point.
now we're
like,
double. Now we're doubling down on satyrs. There's 2 of them. That's double butt action. We're all screwed.
You can just blame it on the boogie. That's what I did. He takes it
Well,
off.
satyrs are quite, in myth, are quite the party animals and
Okay,
do some
they,
interesting acts.
I will have you know
you can,
that my
you compare.
posterior has never been responsible for anything like that. So
Well, you
Fair.
all seem to have some kind of supernatural capabilities.
Oh, I will pat Sria on the near of her small shoulders. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow after
Shit,
that
put it on you.
hangover.
Shake it like a sausage. Shake it. Shake it.
Supernatural capabilities, Willa, is you speak of magic. It's what we do.
I ain't never done
Magic.
that.
The little magic fingers happen. She does it.
Would,
The little jazz
would you like?
fingers.
He leads down to Willow. Would you like to see one of mine?
Nope. Turns and look at
Hey,
Red's
one
like,
of
don't you do it.
You're like
Take
half car. Nobody wants to see that right now.
Oh my
I
god,
mean
if
that.
you will have a fist fight with him, I will love you forever.
Do you want to see one of mine, Willow? Willow.
No.
What?
See one of
No.
what?
Which one? Spearing.
Pokes
Which-
are- It's something we, Claire Connor, quite good at. We can read a room. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Shh.
Frowny face.
Do you want to see?
I'm lost.
Well, guess there's only one way to learn.
Oh, don't
my.
give him permission to do the thing.
Puts his hands up. No problem at all, Willa. No problem at all.
I have a
Slithers
feeling
over.
I'm gonna
Nice.
regret. I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this, but here we go.
Please be nice.
All right, kids.
I actually don't know what the Claricon thing is.
No, I was gonna say which one of your. I take it you're using the second one of your birthrights.
Fighting words, boy. Fighting words.
Who are you fighting words and by?
I'm fighting words and the two satyrs against each other. Bambi on Bambi action. Let's do this.
Oh no. She okay. Do it.
Okay, the Cluricon can prod anyone to throwing the first punch. The target can resist with a willpower roll.
Let's never mind that one of them is incredibly sloppy drunk.
Uh-oh. Wasted.
So fight between the Cluricon and the target over between
Them's
the
fighting.
target and another person.
Calming
All right.
presence doesn't have any effect on this, does it?
No, it's supernatural power.
Great at that.
All right,
Who's
so
calming presence?
the question rides is who are you actually targeting? Because what it actually does is they don't fight each other, but you prompt one person to fight another person.
He'll jive his shoulders down, almost like he's bopping like a snake, and then we'll lean down beside the drunk satyr.
I'm not gonna lie, if he leans down next to her, Bambi's gonna reach over and like smack him. Like not hard, but like whack him on the cheek like no. Absolutely not.
Look, if it's gonna cause a lot of distress, maybe
Oh,
not.
don't you
not-
dare.
It's stop it.
No,
Points
you
to
stop it.
Smiles wickedly. Do you know, Bambi?
Don't.
Do you know,
Yeah,
you know
it's
something?
very
Right.
suspicious.
Rides, please
Bambi.
don't.
Bambi,
Please.
sweetheart. She says your butt looks big, and not in the good way. She says you look like you gained a lot of stretch marks on it.
Roll willpower difficulty 8.
Well,
Why
it just
would
kind of
you
looks like,
do
oh
that?
shit, why did I open? I shouldn't have opened this can of worms.
You know.
I'm so
you
big.
I just want you to know you got full doe eyes right up until you activated it, regardless of what comes of this.
Wait, so who's rolling?
I am.
Okay.
Difficulty 8.
Oh no! Why would you do this?
She
She
asked, he
aces
asked.
it,
Damn
and
it.
she looks extremely hurt.
In theory, you can just say something else. It doesn't have a time limit, and it doesn't say it cannot be reused.
No, she promptly gets up out of the chair, puts the drink down, and starts walking out.
Shite.
I'll go check on her. She'll get up and knock on the wood twice and
As you
follow,
knock on the wood, the little boggin will appear again. Yes, madam.
Oh, I was just knocking wood for good luck. Sorry.
No.
Oh no! Rides is gonna do it to the boggin.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
She's gonna walk
Why?
out to check on Bambi though.
Rhiannon is also
Boggin
scrambling
wants-
out of her chair to go follow Bambi. Be like,
Oh,
Bambi, it's not true. Never.
Who are you gonna try and make the little boggin fight?
She's a little
I
wild
don't-
though.
Fuck it, but Rides is angry, so you know what? He just turns, says them fighting words. Your fucking face looks stupid, you know that? Makes him roll willpower.
Oh. Bear in mind, I'm not technically the ST of this venue, so I don't really feel comfortable giving something stats to roll.
No, he'll just say your face looks fucking stupid, and we'll stand up and storm out angrily.
Well, your beard is queer.
burns.
Just insulted him for no reason.
Well, you look like a fucking blueberry. You know, he just kicks open the door angrily and storms
Your
out.
mother never minded the blueberries down where it mattered by, and she never will.
World, but don't you talk about my mother like that.
There's a rich harvest of blueberries for her right here.
I will have this food that says you and your fucking in. I'll get you. I'll get you. You know, it's you walking
Get
away.
out your bird.
What
just happened?
The kid's like, damn, they blame us for everything.
Meredith's deflating.
I'm fucking crying.
At this point, Kincaid has tapped the she-female on the shoulder and given her the eye. Like, there you go.
Well, since it seems like that was a spectacular backfire, are we done here,
I should think so.
Your Grace?
I should think so.
All right, cool. Later. He picks up the she and walks out. Like, throws her full over his shoulder and walks out of the pub.
Before he gets too far away from the table, she grabs the wine bottle, brings it along with her.
I mean, okay.
It's in a satyr.
Tintagel, for his part, is just going to pay the bill, collect his drawings, and be like, "That was today."
Wait,
He's going to give the tiny bog. He's going to give the tiny bog and a bro fist to be like, "I have to remind me to give you a tip for the rich harvest joke." Mm-hmm.
Kincaid will double back. He will come back and he will see if there's any left.
He doubles back for the basket of cookies.
Yes, he does.
Oh my
I got
god.
priority.
All right, important question. Okay, so the rest of us will mute ourselves, and we're gonna let the satyrs and the Cluricon deal with family drama. So continue.
Oh god.
Ready, fight.
No, baby. You know, shouldn't even stomp out really. Shouldn't have the oomph. It's just kind of a stiff walk. Since and poor Rhea. She's trying so hard to keep up. But she's got them little legs and she wobbly.
Oh yeah, she almost eats a chair on the way out.
Well,
One of the
wasn't
bargains
drinking,
catches her.
so she catches up pretty quick. And she'll say to Pepper, "Hey, sorry about that back there. You okay? What was happening?"
It wasn't your fault.
So was he trying to get you to fight or something?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Plucks a little. She's been walking around with a little thistle flower in her hair. She plucks it out, flicks it, looking very put off, but more sad than angry. Until
were
like
like-
Rhea
But,
hits the door.
I was gonna say there will be tiny clip flops as Rhea follows.
Yeah, Rhea will eventually be catching up. But she will get distracted long enough to like go try to help her up. Probably like literally just outside. Oh god. Oh. Hey. Okay, up.
You okay?
I'm just mad. It's okay. Not at you.
Willow will try to put her arm around your shoulder and just kind of give it a rub.
Yeah, she doesn't mind. He just knows I don't like fighting.
Well, then why would he do that?
I don't know.
Maybe everyone had a little bit too much to drink.
Maybe.
I don't
You-
actually know how much I had.
You had a lot.
You
You had like what,
had
5 glasses?
way too much.
I don't know. It was all one glass, and every time I blinked, it was full. So
Yeah,
you
you had.
had a lot.
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay. like pats
She'll
her
look
like almost like it's comical because she wanted to be angry, but she kind of deflates when there's someone else upset.
She's just like has her like Willa has her like hands in her hair, and she just kind of chuckles a little bit. She's almost in disbelief, and she's like, "This is just so surreal. What the heck is going on?" And she just kind of almost looks around at the dreaming.
I've lost track at this point, really.
Is Rides coming along?
After the flurry of insults flung back and forth.
I mean, you can see him shouting, but he just stormed off in another direction.
I mean, to be fair, they're literally like right outside. They don't get very far once Rhea stuffles out.
You fucking hear him. You know what I mean? Going off in the order.
Stomped right past him, apparently.
Yeah, fucking apron nanny.
Yeah, I mean, he turned a different route essentially because he's like, she's not gonna want to fucking talk to me, so he just starts shouting at people walking by. Everyone's like, "Oh, Squire Rice, get the fuck out of my face!" You know, he's walking.
The she and his trolls will emerge from the stable because there's a thing that leads in. There's a door that leads into the stable. So he's even taller if possible. He's sitting on a horse that has that has a fiery mane and a fiery tail. It's a rapidash. If it helps, and one of the trolls is riding a giant Saint Bernard. His name is Mr. Floofles.
Of course it is.
Can't remember what the other one's mount is. I think it is just a giant horse. But he'll look down at them from on top of his steed, and he'll say, "It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I shall look forward to seeing you again."
It's good making your acquaintance too, Your Excellency.
She curtsies again, very shakily.
He'll look at Pepper and he'll say, "Are you all right to get them home?"
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Catherine, you'll see one of the trolls nod her head. "Make sure they get to the trot, all right." Good evening.
Evening.
He'll put the stirrups of his horse. He'll put his stirrups into the horse's flanks and trot down the road.
What a day. Eh?
Yeah,
How you feeling right now?
pretty bad.
Want to go get some cookies?
Oh no, the basket. I'm not gonna see that basket again, am I?
Well, they were really good cookies.
I'll see if I can get the basket back tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Come on, we need to get you back.
You know, I know a good place that has really good hot cocoa for when I'm feeling down. Want to head there?
If it
I
helps,
would probably scorch it right now, so yes.
the giant dog leans its head down and sniffs the tiny satyr.
Pepper, almost on autopilot when the big head comes down, reaches over and like sticks like a whole arm up under its muzzle, kind of scratching.
Oh yeah, Rhiannon will also pet the giant fuzzy thing.
It goes to
Big
lick
ridiculous
hand,
grin on
and
her face.
it's just comical because it licks the whole arm. Yes, noises that are vaguely like that.
Dude, that's the best. You know what? Sure.
Well, let's go then.
Let's do that.
All right. With that note, boys and girls, we will end our scene. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, if you ever have any for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin.